Welcome everyone. This is the first of two integrated home competition winners webinars that we're going to be hosting this year. These are really intended to give everyone a bit more information on this year's winners and give CE members and partners the opportunity to ask any questions they may have about these products. So to provide a super brief background on the competition and why we do this, the integrated home competition was built out of this idea that of basically the residential home of the future and what that looks like. And at CE, that is described and encompassed in our integrated home initiative, which describes that home. And specifically, it's a connected, fuel neutral, grid interactive, efficient home where all the systems, lighting, appliances, HVAC, etc., all can seamlessly communicate and optimize valued amenities to both consumers and members. So that means slightly different things for the consumers and for the utilities. On the consumer side, the integrated home can address consumer preferences automatically. Through doing so, it can help also improve consumer experience through better customization and personalization. And for those reasons, as well as possible program participation and demand response participation, these devices can add value to the consumer's energy experience. For utilities, the integrated home can really react to the dynamic value of energy. It'll respond to utility or third-party signals for demand response, and overall can contribute to safe, low cost, and reliable energy. As I said before, the integrated home competition is really a method for us to help build out what this home can look like and find products that match this vision. So we're really seeking these new and innovative residential products that are coming to the market that fit this vision. And the competition is designed to reward manufacturer leadership and help to promote these solutions that demonstrate interoperability, reliability, and simplicity. I do want to thank our competition sponsors. We have a great group of them.
So you're getting a 2-for-1 deal. So my name's David Leeser. I'm the R&D team leader for Midea America's residential AC retail products. So window AC, portable ACs, dehumidifiers, those products fall under me and my team. And then Sarah Chinberg on my team is our regulatory engineer. So she's pretty heavily involved with the CE team and just different aspects of CE and other regulatory and agency bodies. So we're excited to present on our what we call our packaged window heat pump. And so what this essentially is a window mounted heat pump with cold climate capability. And for those, Harold, you might be familiar with this, but others, I'm not sure if you're not from the New York area or what, but this is essentially born out of New York Power Authority's New York City Housing Authority and NYSERDA, their basically collaboration to create NYPA's Clean Heat for All Challenge, where essentially NYCHA was or is looking to replace their steam heat systems, which are fired, I guess, either by natural gas or fuel oil on the boilers. But replace those systems with an air source heat pump that can mount in the window to basically help their sustainability efforts and electrification transition. So this was one of the winners from that category, where we'll be providing, right now we're in a demonstration phase with them, but providing essentially 20,000 units to help retrofit their buildings over the next several years. So basically what the product is, it's a self-contained, window heat pump. So like most window ACs, right, that mount in the window, pretty much just do cooling only today. This is a heat pump version with a 9,000 BTU heat output, and that's at 17 Fahrenheit. And a lot of these metrics you'll see, if you have the question why, a lot of it was initially dictated by the NYPA spec, the Clean Heat for All Challenge spec. So that's where a lot of it is driven from. So one of those being the 9,000 BTUs. It's also 9,000 BTUs cooling. And so, so it's basically a 3/4 ton. We'll cover most living rooms and bedrooms, which is what NYCHA is looking to condition. So it is a 120 volt, 15 amp system. So it'll just plug into a wall outlet, just like a normal window AC today. It is an inverter compressor with vapor injection, but has cold climate capability. So we can function all the way down to -13 Fahrenheit. And we do have the ability to do 100% heating at 5 degrees Fahrenheit. We are using R32 refrigerant, so we've been using that in a lot of our Midea window AC products for years. So we're very familiar with that. So it's got great performance and efficiency. So it was an easy, obvious choice with the low GWP properties as well. And it is, one of the big requirements was being a DIY installation. So that way NYCHA and, their maintenance crew can essentially go in, retrofit apartments and install these without needing any certain licenses, whether for refrigerant or electrical upgrades or plumbing upgrades for condensate. So it's very much it is a two-person job, since these are larger units to be able to hit some of those, cold temperatures. But it is, basically you can see some of the installation steps right there at the bottom of the screen. So it comes with an included installation bracket. So that's, step one. And then one of the biggest unique features of this, and what we kind of designed so it could fit in most windows, especially with some that have a smaller vertical opening, is the outdoor section will rotate flat. So you kind of see in that second step, and then you place it on the installation bracket. And the outdoor portion of the installation bracket has a couple gas shocks on it to basically help ease that rotation down into that final installation that you can see in the bottom right. So we, it was definitely a real unique challenge of, having a big enough condenser coil to achieve the performance that, NYCHA and NYPA were requesting, but still be able to install in a lot of the windows out there. Probably the biggest challenge from a technical standpoint was that the specification did not allow for dripping or freezing of the condensate water. So those, especially people in New York City, you get that drip, tinny noise from the unit upstairs. They did not want that, as well as they didn't want any freezing of any condensate, especially in the winter. So it does have a self-contained condensate system for cooling, as well as the defrost meltwater. So it'll handle all of that internally within the unit. Keep on. So as far as with the integrated home competition tenants, so when it comes to energy efficiency, so the typical window AC, the current rating for efficiency is CER, which is combined energy efficiency ratio. So it does have, currently the highest value at 16. And so, that's the cooling metric. And then on the heating side, we do have a COP of 3.5 at 47. I think I'm gonna have to check that, but 2.35 at 17 Fahrenheit. Which was, one of the targets from the NYPA spec. We also did do some 210, 240 testing as well, since I know that's a pretty common metric, especially with the CE membership. So a SEER2, we were able to achieve up to a 21.8 and an HSPF2 of 11.6. So, hopefully that'll translate a little better for most of you all compared to the CER rating that's typical with the window AC. On the load management side and demand flexibility, so for NYCHA, they do have BACnet enabled buildings. And so one of their requests was to have a BACnet system, and kind of a icing on top of the cake was a wireless mesh, if we could do that. So we were able to deliver that to where they could integrate with their building management systems using a wireless mesh BACnet system that uses the Zigbee protocol. We are also going to have, a Wi-Fi model, and we've done this in the past where we've integrated with demand response, systems of different members. So we've done that with Con Ed in the past, and thank Kiko with our standard window ACs. So if that is an interest of some of the members, we can definitely talk with our IoT team and system or group and figure out ways we can do that. Our current app, the Midea Smart Home app, so we do, even today, we do have geolocation capabilities, we have scheduling features. So even just right out of the box, there's different energy saving features that customers can use. And we will also, we've been rolling out Matter. So I think, Lynn mentioned that, right? Matter enabled. So we do have the, our Midea U, the first window AC that has Matter capabilities. So we can start integrating with other components within the whole home and, systems and, whatever the customers want to do to integrate for better control, but also, improved energy efficiency, with the whole system, not just the unit. As far as benefits and amenities to the consumer, so that DIY, right? There's no new electric, being that 120 volt, 15 amp circuit, or mechanical requirements for the install. We do have that humidity capability and control with the condensate system. So in the winter, we can add humidity to the room on those dry days if that's desired. One of the big obvious benefits is once it's installed on the window compared to a normal window AC, you get a lot of your window back. So since it's a saddle type installation, so we'll get a lot more of that light back in, especially, those multi-family homes, which is really a big target for this product. And then noise, right? So we've got operational sound levels down to 36 dB. So definitely getting out there in the much low end and, comparable with a lot of those split systems out there. And then from a security privacy standpoint, all of our Wi-Fi units, whether the PWHP or other, we do IOXT certification, cyber security certification for those models. So as far as market adoption, we really see this as a big solution for multifamily buildings looking to transition, cost effectively for electrification. So there's been groups, and NYCHA included, where they've investigated split systems. So there's obviously, those are great systems, for the right application. But sometimes with multifamily and large buildings, running new electric or running line sets, from the roof, down 6 stories or however many stories, can get pretty cumbersome from an installation standpoint and cost. So when it's window mounted, we can definitely still get that room, AC and room heat pump capability, but with a lot more of a cost-effective installation. So we can do, single room heating and cooling, especially if there's any add-ons or even, single family homes that you want a little bit of an easier installation or more cost-effective solution. If they've got a hot room upstairs or, an addition on the outside that just doesn't have that great of insulation for heating, this is another great option. And, even emergency heating, cooling. So I had some interest from, discussions with groups like FEMA, like, hey, this could be a great option for emergency adoption if it's being 120 volt, can run off a generator. So, and again, like I mentioned, those electrification retrofits, especially on the multifamily side, this is a great product for that. So the current big product or program and pilot that we're working with is NYCHA. So currently we're in that demonstration phase. And that's kind of like the main program we're working with and focusing on. So we installed units back in July, and so they've been running since then. Now starting to get into that heating season for them. So we'll start learning, we learned quite a bit on the cooling side, so we're gonna start learning on the heating side. And so far I've had great response from the tenants and from NYCHA. But any other utility pilots and programs, we're definitely open to those. So small scale pilots are definitely an option now. I think I saw a question about Canada. We'll have certification in Canada in November, so we can start doing pilots in Canada later this year. So that's definitely an option. And then large scale availability is what we're thinking fall, later 2024. Where we can start ramping up, larger shipments. But yeah, whether energy efficiency groups or housing authorities or utility groups, we're definitely open to any pilot or program that you all have. Just let myself or Sarah know. Definitely reach out to us, and we can go from there. So I think right now, just the way we're kind of capping as far as small scale is around 30 units. but we may have flexibility for more. It's just a matter of time and shipment. So yeah, so I think that's